My name is Henry Reese Dole, and I'm the owner of Henry Dole's Machine Shop. And today I'm going to address the relocation manual. And I'd like to say thank you for applying for this position, and I hope the best for you. Next slide. So Henry Dole's Machine Shop, it started in my garage. I would make small parts for tractors and machinery that farmers and my buddies around home needed that they couldn't get anywhere else because a lot of the equipment they had is outdated and the parts just aren't being made anymore. So I'll do that for them. And thankfully over the years business has been good. I've been able to expand and create a new much larger facility with a lot more machines, and I've been able to employ a great many people, which is great. And now we're looking into expanding internationally. We've been talking with New Holland over in their sector they have in Johannesburg, and we're going to set up a shop out there in Johannesburg, and we're going to hammer out the contracts within New Holland to start producing New Holland tractors in Johannesburg, South Africa, which will be great for us because it'll be mutually beneficial because New Holland has a branch there in Johannesburg, and there's no manufacturing of New Holland tractors in the whole continent of Africa. So this will be great for both parties involved. The history of South Africa. So South Africa was first colonized by the Dutch, then the French and Germans, some settlers came down, and then eventually the British, it became a former British colony. And then after many years they finally declared got their independence completely from British rule in 1961. And this was like when a lot of the troubles and bad things with apartheid government and things like that happened, but thankfully it was the apartheid policies and stuff ended in 1991. There are 11 official languages in South Africa, but English is the dominant language. It is also used mostly for business. The dominant religion, just like in the United States, is Christianity. And speaking of the apartheid, and because that wasn't too long ago, but there still is some small racial tensions in South Africa, but people like Nelson Mandela are starting, or Nelson Mandela believed in Ubuntu, which is pretty much just telling people pretty much that we must work together and live together to create a better world. And this sentiment is starting to rise, and which is looking up for South Africa. It's came a long way from when it was 50, 60 years ago. And English, once again, is the main language used for business in South Africa. And just like here in the United States, everybody, when they greet one another, they shake hands, most of the time with your right hand, just like over here. And just like normal business etiquette, if you don't know someone personally or you're not on a personal level with them, like if you're talking professionally, like at work with them, and you're not you don't know them personally, you use professional titles, sir, ma'am, Mr., Mrs., and talking with your hands in your pockets is another thing. That's a lot of people in America, have the bad habit of putting their hands in their pockets and talking. But that's a big taboo over in Africa. It's very disrespectful. And in Johannesburg is it's a pretty city. There are many fun, good things to do, not only for you, but also for your family. There are many great restaurants where you can enjoy, the local food. There are safari excursions you and your family can take. And the Apartheid Museum is also a great big attraction there in Johannesburg. Now, the important information: the traveling, will be provided. We'll fly you out there, or if you want to, if you prefer to take a ship. I know some people that they just don't click well with airplanes. We'd be okay with sending you on a ship or a plane, whichever you prefer. Housing will be provided. We have an apartment rented, and it should be it's not far from the New Holland headquarters, so it won't be too big of a commute. And speaking of commuting, we'll provide you a car and pay for the liability insurance, but the cost of gas and any damages, that'll have to be covered by you. Your passports for you and your family, it will have to be up to date, which I mean, it should be expected. We're working on getting you and your family work visas. We'll work together on that, and we'll definitely have it in time before it's time for you to move out and start this job. And your spouse, also have a work visa, so when they get over there, if they want to, get a job instead of just sit at home, they can do that also. And pretty much your job when you get over in Johannesburg is you'll act as a liaison between New Holland and Henry Doyle's machine shop. We've kind of broadly talked about New Holland, about these things, but your job is going to be hammering out the contracts and talking with New Holland and working the fine details out with them. And you'll start in March of 2021, and hopefully things go great for you. And just to kind of give you a heads up, you will get a small commission on these contracts you get. So the harder you work, the more rewards you'll get. If you have any questions or concerns, once again, there's my email here on the screen, or call my office. Call me at the office, and I'll be glad to handle any questions or concerns you might have for you or your family while you're over there. And we look forward to this opportunity for you and your family. I know you're going to do great. We have a lot of faith in you, and I hope you enjoy your time over there. Thank you.